The meeting of the Iowa Board of Regents for December 3rd, 2025 will come to order. I will begin by calling roll. Regent Dunkel?
Here.
Regent Hensley?
Here.
Regent Rouse?
Here.
Regent Reiswick?
Here.
Regent Gipple?
Here.
Regent Jaden?
Here.
Regent Kramer?
Here.
Regent Bates is president. We have a quorum and the meeting can proceed. I'd like to introduce the Board of Regents Executive Director, Mark Braun, who will make remarks on the agenda item.
Good morning. As you remember at the November board meeting, the board tabled the bylaws for the Center for Intellectual Freedom. They've been reviewed and approved by the advisory committee for the Center for Intellectual Freedom. They are materially the same as what the board saw in November. Be happy to answer any questions.
Is there any discussion about the bylaws? Regent Hensley?
Thank you. And thank you, Mark, for the introduction there. I just for the benefit of the board members that did not participate in the meeting on the 18th with the advisory group or didn't have an opportunity to view it, there was significant discussion on these bylaws, and Regent Kramer and Jaden were both on the calls and participated as well. And I know Regent Kramer had a few suggested changes which have been incorporated into these bylaws that are being proposed. So would appreciate your support.
Thank you. Any other discussion, questions? Nancy Dunkel?
I know that we probably all received the letter from the AAUP where they're asking about the tenure and how tenure will happen with their faculty. Did we all receive that letter? And
Yes.
I thought it was a very respectful letter. And I thought what they said was, you know, they had their concerns and they wanted to lay them out to us. Have we talked about that at all, Mark?
So
Or is
Rachel will correct me if I'm wrong, but the board still is the entity that grants tenure. So any recommendations that are made by the Center for Tenured Faculty Member will still come before the board for approval.
And I can just add to that, Regent Dunkel, that yes, Mark and Rachel Boone and Amy were in conversations where we did have discussion regarding that. And I would say there was quite a lot of discussion regarding that. So ultimately, as Mark has indicated, the board has the authority to approve.
okay. Thank you for that.
Any other discussion?
I'll move approval.
Regent Hensley has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Robert Kramer. We'll take a roll call vote. Regent Dunkel?
Yes.
Regent Kramer?
Yes.
Regent Hensley?
Yes.
Regent Rouse?
Yes.
Regent Reiswick?
Yes.
Regent Gipple?
Yes.
Regent Jaden?
Yes.
Before we move off the subject of the center, could I ask one thing about the inaugural event that's coming up and whoever would know about that? So last night I received a phone call that the first part is going to be closed session, that only the public is invited to day 2 at the end. Is that true, or is that?
Mark, did you want to address that?
Yeah,
We've had emails going back and forth to address that. Regent
So, given the fact that the majority of the advisory council will be in attendance for the entire event, in order to comply with Iowa's open meetings law, the entire event must be open and available to the public.
Okay, so that was incorrect information. Thank you.
Well, to be fair, Regent Dunkel, it had been discussed that that first session would be closed. However, there were some issues regarding capacity in the room And I know that they're working now to try to figure out how to allocate the open seats that will be available.
Okay.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All right. Thank you, Regent Dunkel and Regent Hensley. I'd like to introduce Board Council Amy Clays, who will make remarks on the agenda item.
Thank you, President Bates. Iowa State University requests board approval of the CyTown site development lease proposals relating to the individual building projects. The site development lease proposals contain the building plans, financing structure, and financial pro forma for 6 components of the project. This includes the food and beverage anchor, 2 office and retail buildings, 2 CyTown suite buildings, the amphitheater, and the common amenity area. The hotel is still undergoing the design phase and will be brought to the board at a future meeting. Each of the buildings are financed with a combination of university land, Goldenrod financial contributions, and debt financing secured by Goldenrod. The specific combination of these contributions is set forth in Exhibit A. As indicated in the summary pro formas contained in Exhibit B, the CyTown development is projected to generate $184 million net revenue to the university over the next 30 years. These proposals have been reviewed and approved by the CyTown Management Committee. Regents Dunkel and Kramer serve as the board representatives on the CMC. Robert or Nancy, is there anything you'd like to add before we turn the floor over for questions?
I'll start. Yeah, Regent Dunkel and I have been really involved in this, going through these numbers. And so there are a lot of numbers there. And in fact, they didn't even send you all the layers of the onion that goes into that. So we're very pleased with the depth of the pro forma here that we're seeing. We're pleased with the results of what they're projecting. And again, they're projections, but we feel that they're conservative projections. We feel good about it. So I believe both Regent Dunkel and I are very in favor of passing this plan.
Thank you, Regent Kramer. And that's exactly what I would have said, is that we have had a chance to thoroughly vet these numbers. I feel they're as good a budget projection as you can get. I did have a lot of questions in the beginning of this, and that's probably how I got on this committee to be with them. But I have to say it's a very open process, and I feel really good about what's going to happen at Iowa State with this CyTown project.
Thank you. So, Regent Hensley?
A couple of questions, and I would agree with the comments made by Regent Kramer and Dunkel. One observation is when you have a project this large, even though the assumptions are very conservative, has there been any discussion about benchmarks and triggers that if certain items are not met at a given time, that you have to go back through and have a review process, or are there deadlines that are established?
Well, there are contracts established, so we should be covered via a contract.
But I mean,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Regent Kramer. Yeah, the beauty of it is that really our developer, Goldenrod, really has a lot of the risk here. So they're going to go out and find tenants to fill these spaces. The first thing these tenants have to do is pay that pilot, the payment in lieu of taxes, and that's so that's really where our money comes from. If those tenants then fail, or then it's on Goldenrod to find. So the only way Goldenrod's going to make money is if they can keep the space filled and at a decent rate. So they got to go find other tenants, and and I do like they're kind of vetting these tenants. Like one tenant actually wanted more space than what Goldenrod really thought they should tackle, and so they talked them down into a little bit smaller space because they have a really good idea of how these things work and what businesses are going to thrive here. And so I feel good that they're trying to get tenants that are really going to be a positive thing for us. So then it's all a win-win-win. If if that comes true. The nice, what I'm kind of getting to is that the downside for us really isn't that great. We end up with these buildings and it'd obviously be a big black eye if it failed, but we've got a developer there who's very motivated to make it work.
One other question then, the sources of funds, and there was just an article in the paper recently that had indicated that there were quite a lot of federal transportation dollars that were coming in. Has there been any discussion or research to see whether or not part of this project, the transportation part, the CyRide, would qualify for any of those funds, which would obviously help the project?
I don't know about that.
On the Zoom are Sean Reeder and Mike Norton from Iowa State University, who've been working on this project. Mike, would you care to respond to that? I know that we've already done and invested in the infrastructure components, and that was previously approved and vetted by the Board of Regents.
Yeah, so the source of funds primarily are coming from Goldenrod and then from third-party financing of debt that's secured by Goldenrod. So Goldenrod really is the individual partner in this that is bringing the money to the table. I will say that on the CyRide part, we just did receive on CyRide a $14 million infrastructure grant from the federal government, unrelated to CyTown, but important for the continuing operation and expansion of the CyRide project and the CyRide community benefit there. So there are significant federal grant dollars being used in CyRide for their own needs, unrelated to CyTown. And I think we feel very confident about CyRide's connections to CyTown and don't see, the financing there as an issue, with respect to the overall project.
Okay, thank you.
I would also add one more thing if I could, to your point, Regent Hensley, and that is that the city of Ames is requiring an audited financial statement from the research park for the part of collecting the money and all of that. So, and that I think is every 2 years. So we'll be also able to see that audited financial statement, and that'll cover us.
Okay, thank you.
Amy, do you have anything further before we go on? I would just, before we go on, just like to say quickly, it's been a long time coming, this project, and I couldn't be happier to see how far we've come along and what this is going to do for Iowa State and Ames. So I do need a motion from anyone.
I'd make the motion. This is Nancy.
Regent Dunkel, second.
I'll second.
By Regent Kramer. Is there any further discussion? Regent Dunkel?
Yes.
Regent Kramer?
Yes.
Regent Hensley?
Yes.
Regent Rouse?
Yes.
Regent Reiswick?
Yes.
Regent Gipple?
Yes.
Regent Jaden?
Yes.
Regent Bates votes yes. Motion approved.
And can I give a little shout out?
Absolutely.
So a shout out to that team of Michael Norton and Sean Reeder and Jamie Pollard and Rick. They've really done a great job of putting this thing together. And so they're doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Very good. Thank you, Regent Kramer. Okay. I'd like to introduce Chief Academic Officer Rachel Boone, who will make remarks on President Winterstein's Emerita status.
Thank you, President Bates. Before you is a request to designate Iowa State University President Wendy Wintersteen as President Emerita upon her retirement. This comes at the recommendation of Iowa State University faculty and other leadership in alignment with all of their policies regarding Emerita's status. She will also receive Professor Emeritus status in alignment with Iowa State University policies and various designations required and approvals required on campus. She will join some names that are very familiar to you of prior presidents having received this upon their retirement: Hughes, Friley, Hilton, Parks, and Joffrey. So this is a well-deserved honor for President Winterstein, and it would take effect on January 2, 2026 upon her retirement.
I'll move by Kramer.
Motion by Regent Kramer. Is there
I'll second. Hey, we can't hear you.
I apologize. Okay, now
There.
can you hear?
Yeah.
Is there any discussion?
Well deserved.
Yes.
Yes, I think we could all agree it's a very well-deserved honor. Very good. I'll take roll call vote. Regent Dunkel,
Yes.
Regent Kramer,
Yes.
Regent Hensley,
Yes.
Regent Rouse,
Yes.
Regent Ryswick,
Yes.
Regent Gipple,
Yes.
Regent Jaden,
Yes.
Regent Bates votes yes. Motion is approved. Now I'd like to introduce the Board of Regents Executive Director, Mark Braun again, who will make remarks on the Investment and Finance Committee charge.
So before you today is a charge to the Investment and Finance Committee to do a comprehensive review of new and additional revenue streams and efficiencies across the region universities. This is comparable to what the board did in 2014 with TIER, the advisory group did during COVID. Be happy to answer any questions.
Is there any questions? Okay. A motion and second are required to ratify the charge to the Investment and Finance Committee for a review enhancement efficiency study as outlined in the docket memo. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Regent Jaden. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Regent Rouse. Is there any further discussion? I do have some comments on this that I'd like to make. This is an important issue. Savings and administrative efficiencies are something that our universities have been doing for some time and doing it very well. When comparing four-year public universities nationwide, the state of Iowa ranks as the fourth most efficient on administrative costs in the country. The TIER review from a decade ago was very successful, and there have been additional efforts to find savings and efficiencies since then as well. The board has been clear that this is a priority, and our universities have been doing their part. But the time is right for a new formal review to see what additional measures can be undertaken. Therefore, I charge the Investment and Finance Committee, chaired by Regent Jaden, to do a comprehensive review of potential new revenue streams and cost efficiency across all three universities and report back to the board with its recommendations. Take a roll call vote. Regent Dunkel,
Yes.
Regent Kramer,
Yes.
Regent Hensley,
Yes.
Regent Rouse,
Yes.
Regent Ryswick,
Yes.
Regent Gipple,
Yes.
Regent Jaden,
Yes.
Regent Bates votes yes. Motion is approved.
Sherry, I have a comment, if I can.
Absolutely.
So on behalf of the Finance Committee, I look forward to leading the charge of this revenue and efficiency analysis program with the region institutions. I concur with President Bates' comments. The Regent universities have done excellent work in this area, but more is needed, and clearly with lean, we are never done. This strategic opportunity is an ability to jointly engage the board office, region institutions, and third-party experts to challenge and expand our thinking and explore new areas of opportunity to ensure our future financial foundation remains strong. We will provide updates to the board on a regular basis as requested, and we look forward to the work. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Jaden. All right. So the Board of Regents will now accept nominations for the office of President of the Board for a term commencing December 4th, 2025 and expiring April 30th of 2026. Are there any nominations?
I'll nominate, you said president, correct?
Yes.
I'll nominate Robert Kramer.
Are there any other nominations at this point? We will now move to close nominations. All those in favor of closing nominations say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Nominations are now closed. The Regents will now take action on the nomination of Regent Kramer for the office of President for a term to commence December 4th, 2025 and expire April 30th, 2026. We'll take a roll call vote. Regent Dunkel,
Yes.
Regent Kramer,
Yes.
Regent Hensley,
Yes.
Regent Gipple,
Yes.
Regent Ryswick,
Yes.
Regent Rouse,
Yes.
Regent Jaden,
Yes.
Regent Bates votes yes. The motion is approved. Congratulations. Board of Regents will now accept nominations for the office of President Pro Tem for a term to commence December 4th, 2025 and expire April 30th, 2026. Are there any nominations?
I would nominate Kurt Jaden for pro tem.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? If not, we will move to close nominations. All those in favor of closing nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Nominations are now closed. The Board of Regents will now take action on the nomination of Regent Jaden for the office of President Pro Tem for a term to commence December 4th, 2024 and expire April 30th, 2026. We'll take a roll call vote. Regent Dunkel,
Yes.
Regent Kramer,
Yes.
Regent Hensley,
Yes.
Regent Gipple,
Yes.
Regent Ryswick,
Yes.
Regent Rouse,
Yes.
Regent Jaden,
Yes.
Regent Bates votes yes. The motion is approved. Congratulations, Robert Jaden. Yes, Kurt Jaden. This concludes,
Would you okay if I make a couple comments?
oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Sherry, for your years of service and your friendship. Appreciate the way you've herded us cats, how you have kept a positive attitude and just your undying support for the universities. We really appreciate that. I happen to have a little resolution to read. Whereas Sherry Bates was appointed to the Board of Regents by Governor Branstad on December 22nd, 2014, was reappointed by Governor Branstad in 2017, and reappointed again by Governor Reynolds in 2023. And whereas she was elected President Pro Tem of the board on June 1st, 2021, and reelected in 2022, she became interim board president on January 16th of 24, and was elected the 23rd president of the Board of Regents on February 28th, 2024. And whereas during her time, the board approved hundreds of millions of dollars in capital projects at Iowa, Iowa State, and UNI with new and renovated academic, residential, athletics, healthcare, and other facilities. And whereas during her tenure, successful presidential searches were conducted at each Regent University, leading to the hiring of first-class leadership at Iowa, Iowa State, and UNI. And whereas she served on the board and led with grace, understanding, humility, and caring towards all she worked with and for, and always being present with a smile and kind words. And whereas she was always generous with her time, having served on countless committees, commissions, and task force during her tenure, both within the Board of Regents system and outside of it, providing her smart, incisive perspective to help make the best decisions possible. And whereas she, coming from a farming family, she was a continuous strong advocate for the needs of rural Iowans, and as the longtime chair of the University of Iowa Healthcare Committee, leaned on her experience as a social worker to provide needed support and attention toward the varied, complex issues surrounding healthcare in our state. And whereas she kept students top of mind in her decision-making, taking the perspective of what is best for the students is ultimately best for the universities, as they are the future leaders of our state. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Iowa Board of Regents expresses its deep gratitude to Regent Bates for her expertise, dedication, and extraordinary service and contributions to the Board of Regents, its institutions, students, and families, and all Iowans. Congratulations on your well-earned retirement from the board. You'll be missed.
Thank you.
And now one with the glasses.
So Thank you very much. There's so many people to thank, and I'll try to get through it very quickly. But of course, to both Governor Branstad and Governor Reynolds for their trust in me in this position. To all three of our university presidents, all that you've done, the collaboration and what you do, your tireless effort to do what's best for the students and for the universities. But also the university campuses and UIHC campus, they're the ones who really get the work done and see to our students, and I see that, and I thank you. The board office staff, it's going to be hard to say goodbye to all of you. My deepest appreciation for your professionalism, your support, and the exceptional work that you do. And Mark, thank you for your guidance, your encouragement, and your trusted partnership throughout my tenure. Regents, past and present, I am sincerely grateful for your friendship, for your relationship on the board, and what we have been able to accomplish. The board's in good hands, and the university is too, with all of you. Thank you. Greta, thank you for your insight, your collaboration, steady support, and friendship. I couldn't have asked for a better pro tem. And to my husband and family, with heartfelt thanks for your love, patience, and constant encouragement, you have made this work possible for me to do. And best wishes to Robert and to Kurt. I extend my full confidence and warmest wishes to you both. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry.
To end the meeting.
And I have another word.
Okay.
I appreciate that, Sherry, and thank you, Greta, for your service as well. I'm a bridge builder, and this might be a good time, for a bridge builder to bring all of our interested parties who want to make our universities better together. So, I have three goals. I think our university should be providing an affordable education with a good rate of return on that investment. And it continues with that action we just took of trying to find efficiencies and doing the best we can. Secondly, to provide academic excellence that from the top to the bottom at our universities, that everybody's striving for better academic excellence, and it comes through merit and through just hard work and keeping that always in the forefront of trying to produce better and better students. And the third is just to provide a fair and balanced place for vigorous debate. And that's been a lot of our work has been this last year, is just to create an atmosphere where students can engage. And the college is a great place to learn new things, to find out what you believe. But we just want a fair and balanced place where students can do that. I think if we can do those three things, we'll see our enrollments continue to grow, even though others are declining. We'll see that impact on Iowa's economy grow, and we'll see these graduates go out and change the world. I think we can flip the narrative on higher education, and that is that here in Iowa, a degree from one of our public universities is a great investment, and it's going to help these students going forward for the rest of their lives. So thank you for trusting me with this opportunity. I'm going to work hard, and I think together we can make our Iowa universities the envy of the country. So Regent Jaden, you want to say a few comments?
Sure. First, again, I want to echo and thank Sherry and Greta for their leadership and inspiration. It's a tough act to follow after this, but I'm grateful for the board for giving me your faith and trust to serve in leadership. And I'd echo Robert's comments. Our public universities are among some of the best in the country, and quite frankly, our most valuable assets in the state. And I'm confident with the university leadership, the Regent office, and the Board of Regents, we can continue to advance to the goals that Robert has talked about. And I'm excited to be a part of that. So thank you for your trust, and look forward to getting to work.
I think that all needs a round of applause for our new leadership. There we go. So this concludes the board's business. The meeting of the Iowa Board of Regents is adjourned, and I get to one more time.